all season. Ranked team against unranked opponent, and we'll see if the upset can shake up the rankings in this one. Welcome to the Big House, home of the Michigan Wolverines. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. So Washington's offense makes its way onto the field to open this game. Let's take a quick second to call out some of the impact players their coaches mentioned in meetings this week. Anything you guys heard that really resonated with you?
Yeah, I love when coaches talk about guys that bring it every single day. Like, that we can depend on them. They can get other guys lined up. They're always motivated. They're always being a great teammate. These are the guys that coaches love.
And big-time players make big plays in big games, right? These are the guys that have to play well if they're going to win games like this. It'll be interesting to see what they do today.
This crowd, full throat, splitting the eardrums and letting them know it's going to be a long day. Just a short pass to the tight end. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. You know, David, this is really what game managing is. Nice pickup on second down to help them on the next play.
Yeah, I think people look at that negative sometimes, finding a quarterback that's a game manager. No, use your brain. Set up good situations. I'm way more successful when I can keep those sticks at a more manageable situation, and I'm not as predictable on a third down.
They'll get him on the ground at the 46, and it'll be a first down.
Well, when you're running the drag route against man coverage like that, as a quarterback, you got to put the ball out in front of your target. And when you do that, you give the guy a chance to then advance the football up the field, pick up a first down like they did right there.
And the Huskies will snap it on 1st and 10. Williams will pass. And they're not quite in rhythm there. It's incomplete.
Well, no surprise there on defense, right? You know the QB is going to be trying to target this guy. Nice job in coverage forcing that incompletion.
Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. Wants to keep it in the air. This time he's got it. Out of bounds at the 43-yard line after the huge pickup.
Now, I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
They're trying to run the football, and there's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Out of the gun to give to the back. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
Big noise, big house, trying to rile up this Michigan defense on 3rd down. And the defense picks up a sack, getting the quarterback down at the 44.
And right away early in this game, first drive, you're seeing the big storyline here. It's this quarterback's speed versus the defense and who's going to win the day. And I love the tone the defense is setting here. They knew coming in they were going to have to find a way to corral this guy, and they're able to get home early, really creating some momentum on their side.
Washington sends out the punt team. They'll have to punt for the first time this afternoon. You'd think they would have had a good chance to down that one deep, but the bounce carries it into the end zone for the touchback. So the Michigan Wolverines offense will try to get something going with their first possession. And David, we've got a quarterback today who's been known for making enough plays when his team needs them.
Yeah, and listen, he's a guy that this offense is built around him, But, Jesse, he's not the guy that's going to take over. He needs the running game to get going. He needs the passing game. He needs a little bit of balance. Really good football player, but he needs the help of the quality teammates around him.
Yeah, you're right. I think the one thing we've seen with this guy is he's got to get into a rhythm in games early, right? And so whether it's running the football or getting a few completions early to get his confidence going, because once that happens, he's very, very good.
Looking for a physical attack from the gun. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
You just need more from your offensive line. Second and short like that, you'd love to be able to fire off the ball and pick that up running it, but the defense was able to get penetration. They were able to get a stop, and now you set up third down, and this offensive line is going to have to play a lot better here.
They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
3rd and 1, everyone knows it's coming, but the quarterback sneak is so hard to stop. They just got to get 1 yard. Nice job by the offensive line.
Well, a really good push by his center on that last play, making it easy for his quarterback to just tuck the football, belly it, get low, and drive your legs.
Takes the handoff. It's Hayes. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Well, they want to come out and try to get the run game established, but up front defensively, they made a play. They gave up nothing on that one.
Got to find some breathing room if you're going to establish yourself on the ground, and there wasn't any that time.
Yeah, Reese, I wonder now if this offense is maybe going to try to get to the perimeter of the field and see if they can use their speed to hurt this defense.
They'll move the tight end. Off the play fake. Looking for a huge play. He's got it along the sideline. He got loose, almost housed it, finally dragged down at the 32. It's been a defensive battle through the first period, and the stats tell that tale. Based on that, we can hope to see a little more offensive explosion here in the second quarter as we get ready to get things started. First play of the period, first down here. To the air, it's Underwood. Makes the catch, it's Simpson. That's about as close as you can get to that marker, and it will be second and just a few breaths away from the first down. The Wolverines come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. The give. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Yeah, you just feel like the running back's asking for redemption on that one. You know, second and short, and you're giving him the football. He can't get the first himself. Now it's third down. He's looking over on the sideline like, call it again, throw me the ball, I can go do this. It's never a good feeling for the running back in that situation.
To the ground to try to pick up the first. Didn't get much, picked up a yard, and that will leave them with 4th and 2.
At the 24-yard line. Now, a 4th down.
They're happy enough to try to take the points as the field goal unit heads out. And this will be a 41-yarder coming up from the right side. It's good, and that was dead solid perfect. And the first points of the day come on that field goal.
And he'll take that first drive. Like, you wanted a touchdown, but you gave the people here at home something to cheer about in that first drive. Move the football enough to get your kicker an opportunity and to put 3 on the board.
After putting up a 3-spot, the kickoff unit set to go. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. They're looking for any type of offense to try to get this thing going down 3-0. And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one.
How nice is it in this offense to have your best receiver playing in the slot? You're matching him up against linebackers, against safeties, or nickel corners. Nickel corners are oftentimes the defense's third best cornerback. This guy is virtually uncoverable.
He'll pull it on the read.
This is an offense that can move the sticks in a whole lot of different ways. Now you're seeing it on the option here. Great job by the quarterback. Reading the defense, there's nobody there taking him, so he puts his foot in the ground, he gets upfield, and he's got really nice elusiveness once he's out in the open field. He shows you that on that explosive play, picking up the first.
Off the play fake on first down. Grab behind the line. It's Green. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the first down play.
Brings up second down.
After that last completion, it's second down. Wide receiver going in motion. Quick touch pass to the receiver. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one.
Really good job by the defense, seeing it and going and getting it. Nice job understanding the touch pass. It can happen. Those guys go in motion, man. I got to understand, safety's got to see that, start flying down, getting ready to play that. Nice job by the defense being ready for that play.
The clock has reached the 2-minute mark, and they have a chance to at least cut into this lead before the break. Big noise in the big house for this huge third down play. Williams looking for a man. He puts a lot of air under it down the sideline. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
Every defense in the country talks about getting offenses in predictable third and long situations where I can bring on more speedsters and I know the pass is coming so I can have more success.
Punt is in the air, and the return man will have no chance as the ball sails out of bounds. They'll start this drive from the 18-yard line. Off play action on first down. He tosses one high and deep down the left side.
Well, that's just a great play by the defender and great timing. It was the hit that forced that incompletion.
Plenty of work to do here on second and long. Looking to fire. Throws to the tight end. Caught over the middle. It's Klein. And he gets it to the 45-yard line, and that'll be a first down.
Man, this offense is so dangerous, Reese. They've got dudes all over the field that can make plays. There's a big gainer in the pass game.
You get a chunk of yards like that, now the defense is really on its heels. The offense getting set for a first down from the 45. Looking to throw on first down. Oh, they're after him. Hits him inside the 20, still going. Touchdown, Wolverine. And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times, touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
Lining up to add another.
The kicker is on for the extra point.
And with the extra point, they're now up by a touchdown and a field goal at 10. Quick strike offense on that three-play scoring drive. And the score coming on the touchdown pass from 55 yards out. On the move from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Williams will pass. And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. The roar of the crowd trying to fuel this defense to keep them pinned in their own end. Second down, they'll go to the air. Here's the pressure. Not much of a chance there. He just had to get rid of it to avoid the sack.
And how loud is it in this building? This is crazy. These fans are going absolutely nuts. And I used to love when the fans got involved and I'm on defense because it messes with the snap count, it messes with the communication, and it can really rattle an offense.
On 3rd and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on.
You can just start to sense the frustration building for this offense after that incompletion. Right now, setting up 4th down. They haven't yet scored a touchdown. They just can't find a rhythm in this game. Obviously, the defense, the big reason for that, but if this offense wants a chance to win, they have got to start stringing some completions together and get this quarterback in a better rhythm.
They'll start this drive at their own 48. They'll go to the toss. Picks up the 1st down. Across the 25, he's got room. He'll be pushed out of bounds just short of the end zone, and that one saved a touchdown at least for now.
Every time he touches the ball, you can feel the excitement from this home crowd because Palmer, he can go the distance with that game-breaking speed.
You're right, David. He's a special talent. I'll tell you, these fans, they come here to see this guy play because he has game-breaking speed. Stuff you can't coach. You saw it on that play.
And the Wolverines trying to cash it in on 1st and goal. They'll try to blast their way in. They finally get a hold of him, knocking him down behind the line of scrimmage. He had been running wild. The offense will have to use its 1st timeout of the half. Can the defense stop them again on 2nd and goal? He's got it down to the 1-yard line right on the doorstep of Pater.
Well, he gets tackled down at the 1-yard line, so offensively, do you feel confident enough on 3rd here trying to hand it off again?
Yeah, and I'm taking both these downs, and I'm coming downhill. I'm running the football, trying to get this in the end zone. I only got a yard to go. I got to be physical.
Trying to get it done with the run here on 3rd and goal. He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks.
It's now 4th and goal.
We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Their hope for a touchdown gone by the boards, but they'll try to put up 3 before going to the locker room. Smashes it between the uprights. And that lead grows even bigger.
And that's not the way they wanted to end the drive, but nice job being ready and your field goal kicker coming through and putting 3 points on the board.
That late in the half field goal always gives you a little boost going to the locker room, and they'll need to finish off these final few seconds and not allow them to answer. He'll start the return inside his 5. He'll be brought down, and that's the final play of the half. That's the end of the 2nd quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Guys, looks like we've had a compelling start to things there in Ann Arbor. And there's no more fitting place to begin than with this stud receiver and how he's dominated the first half. Some guys have the ability to elude and evade. This young man is a true 3-level threat. Short passes, the intermediate game, and then the deep ball, he is a problem. And I don't think this defense has the solution. With that said, let's send it back to the fellas in the booth at Michigan Stadium.
Washington about to boot it deep to start things in the 2nd half. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. Catch in the middle, it's McCulley. That defense got gashed, but they finally get him to the turf at the 47. Completing a forward pass was much like solving the Rubik's Cube for Michigan a year ago, but now, Jesse, they have the nation's top recruit in Bryce Underwood, and the key is to develop him.
Yes, because he is the future for Michigan. There is no question about it. And you just saw just 2 seasons ago, when you've got a quarterback who's dynamic, who's highly recruited and developed, a guy like J.J. McCarthy, the sky's the limit for Michigan. You can win national championships. That's the hope for the Wolverines moving forward.
What a throw! Not a lot of room. He fits it in beautifully, and they've got it at the 30.
That's enough. First down for the offense.
Line gets set, first down. They'll move the wide receiver. Looking to pass, it's Underwood. Unloads to the wideout. Grabbed in the middle, it's McCulley. The stop is made, but this offense is threatening. First and goal from the 9. Just like that, a hat trick of completions, and they're on the doorstep.
3 plays, 3 beautifully executed plays. This offense is in a really good rhythm. This defense better change something quickly because this has been way too easy.
A first down run on the doorstep. He's brought down at the 6, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here.
He's down second and goal.
They keep pushing forward, now back to work on second and goal from the 6. The run up the middle, trying to find his way to the goal line. He'll be brought down at the 5-yard line, and this defense is on its heels.
5-yard line.
This has been really good for the defense, too. It's kind of a bend-don't-break mentality, right? Really bowing up with your backs against the wall. If you can win this next third down, try to force the opponent into a field goal. That's a win if you're on defense.
They've pushed it forward down to the 5, but now looking at third and goal. And just left that pass short. Not enough juice on that one.
Third and short, I have no problem with RPO because I can run it or I can throw it if I see something opening. Maybe he should have ran that one. You got 2 downs possibly to still try to make it happen, but he definitely didn't throw an accurate ball.
Fourth and goal from the 5, and the offense is staying on the field. What a big moment here. From the gun, looking for a man. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Michigan!
And the defense was so close. They had done such a good job up to that point, setting up a fourth down. It looked like they had the QB corralled, but they let him escape. That is going to be a coaching moment for them moving forward.
Ready to try the point after.
On for the extra point.
And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. So an 82-yard drive there, and they punctuated it with a 5-yard touchdown run. Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. They really didn't move the ball at all the last time they had it, and hoping for better fortune this time around. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down, and they got to keep that up here in the second half.
That's caught. It's Green. Works his way out to the 33-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds.
And he runs a quick out route, and this is a timing route. Quarterback has to trust him, throw him the football. You can tell they've thrown this a time or two. Nice job, nice success.
The Huskies come to the line on third and short, trying to convert here. Williams looking for a man. It's complete. And he's to the 48-yard line. That'll be good enough for a first down.
To the back.
And that's why this guy is such a weapon in this offense, because you don't have to throw it far downfield. Just get the ball in his hands. He catches it close to the line of scrimmage, but look what he was able to do after the catch. He gets an explosive play for this offense.
Washington coming to the line with another first down. It's incomplete, and I tell you, this sophomore quarterback's lucky to get that one back.
Second down.
So now it's 2nd and long. Wants to go up top. Grabbed over the middle. It's Evans. Gets it all the way down to the 39-yard line. It'll be a first down.
Gain of 13.
Part of the DNA of the Washington offense has been a guy who can get it done with his arm.
And just finding a guy that makes everybody around you better, that can make the right decisions, that can highlight your skill positions. That's what get the Washington fans going crazy, going nuts, and that's when they have those great football teams.
Got it in the middle. It's Evans. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
Well, they execute the end route, and how about the arm strength by the QB? That was an absolute bullet on that completion.
Bunch formation for these receivers. Second down, they'll go to the air. Pulls it in, it's Evans. There he goes. He's brought down, but what a play for this offense, and they'll have it at the 12-yard line.
Well, there's a great example of the receiver working back to his quarterback on the curl route against man coverage. He drives back towards the football, makes the catch, and gets the first down.
We'll see if they have enough time to get another snap before the clock hits 0. We've reached the end of the period, and Michigan has the lead. And they've built a comfortable lead after 3 quarters of play. Let's take a look at how we've gotten here. Just about ready to go in the 4th, and we'll see if any drama can be mustered. They go back to work with the first down in the final period of this one. And those two couldn't make the connection. It's an incomplete pass. Michigan stole their winged helmets and possibly their fight song from Princeton, but they are giving an Ivy League level education and defense today.
Yeah, and stealing their hearts, just ripping them out, not giving them anywhere to go, no life. This offense has no answers because Michigan's out there just destroying them, giving them a education.
And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back in the 16.
And this defense came to play. They know about the high-profile QB. They rose to the challenge and dominated the competition today. They took care of business, and they made no doubt about who's the better football team.
Now 3rd and long, and trying to play catch-up in more ways than one after that earlier sack. Williams will pass. Didn't have much of a choice, just had to throw that one away. It'll be 4th down.
And I absolutely love what this defense is doing, man. You know exactly what time it is. You've got a big lead. They're going to have to throw the football. So more nickels, more dimes. Bring the speed on the field and get ready to play the pass.
Coach has no choice here. The offense has to stay on the field, down multiple possessions this late. 4th down attempt coming. Under fire. They got him for the sack, and that'll be a turnover on downs.
Well, that play never had a chance on 4th down. They're trying to catch the defense off guard, throwing for it, but no protection. Quarterback didn't have an opportunity to step up and get rid of that football. Give the defense credit, man. Tremendous aggression there on 4th.
And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. How about that last drive? Just carved him up in the air, David.
Yeah, and how about that quarterback? You gave him the ball, and he delivered the goods. Great job taking apart the defense, Jesse, on that last drive.
He really did, David. I mean, that was a masterclass in just reading coverage and being accurate.
And it's nice to be a QB in this spot. He's had a great day, man. Like, great day. They've built a huge lead now. Incompletion's okay. Just take care of the football. Don't throw that thing to the other team.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. Snagged in the middle. It's Klein. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line.
There are a lot of offensive coordinators out there in a similar situation with a lead like this. They'd definitely be running the ball at this point. They'd probably take their starting quarterback out of the game potentially, but not this unit. They are still staying aggressive. They're still taking shots. They're just trying to light up the scoreboard.
The Wolverines come to the line after ripping off that huge gain on the ground, trying to keep it going. Tight end now in motion. Wants to throw on 1st down off the play fake. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down.
I'm a little bit surprised they're still throwing the football here this late in the game with this kind of lead. They're on 1st down, taking a shot, falls incomplete, but obviously they're still seeing matchups that they want to take advantage of in the back end of this defense, so they're letting it fly.
They'll try to keep this clock moving on the ground. And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
They weren't able to get that one off. It'll be a delay of game.
Delay of game. Offense.
Offense took a little bit too much time at the line there. Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down. Back to pass. It's Underwood. Throws to the wideout. Got his man on the right. And perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle as he gets him down at the 37. He just keeps piling up numbers with completion after completion in this standout performance.
And I think some people might say late in the game, you got the win, everything's in hand, be a little bit conservative, or you just say, I'm just going to keep doing me. And what I do with this offense is throw the football all over the yard, and I'm going to try to win me a big trophy at the end of the year.
Couldn't really get started there. Pick up a 1 to the 35.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. 4th quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. Pressure coming. Caught near the sticks. It's McCulley. Stopped just inside the 25. Will mark it at the 24. Pickup of 10 and a 1st down.
QBs, when they see these zone coverages, man, some of them panic. Some of them throw it too quickly and can make bad decisions. I like how he waited a little bit, waited for the right window, the right opportunity. There's always going to be holes in zones. I just got to be a little bit patient.
Gonna run it. It's Haynes. Breaks into the open. He's wrestled to the ground right at the 15-yard line, and a big red zone opportunity here.
I think you have to like what you see if you're the coaching staff here. Your offense is on the field, and it looks like you got a pretty good drive going, and you're just going to try and keep this thing marching, keep the clock ticking. You've got a really nice lead here late. Just want to find ways to keep the chains moving. They're doing that.
Quarterback on the keeper. Knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
Here's a heat.